Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to the Banished Vault, where nothing here is sacred, and we may be in an awful lot of trouble. So, thanks to my brilliant tactical acumen in that last system, we do have enough stasis to rest again, if we need to, if we want to just bounce. I'm very worried about this. So we're in a position with the elixir, right? How much elixir do I have left? Yeah, y'all are too weary to even do anything. We have 3 elixir remaining. So that's enough to get Ladanus and Valenus back up to functional. And then that'll consume 2. And then we have this plus the 2 down here that we could use to get them all functional again post-jump. However, these 2 are for the last scriptorium, and I'd really love to not have to consume them. Okay, what does it take to make more elixir? It's like a pain, right? It's silica and methane. And I mean, we certainly have the raw materials. But just like getting to any planet requires us to make it through this high radiation hazard of difficulty 6, and I am concerned. I think we don't have to give them anything, right? If I wanted to just leave, we could just leave and then use the 3 elixir on the vault on the other side of the next jump to just give everybody 1 faith. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think we're just going to skip this one. This is really ugly. If we run into very unfortunate hazards on the next one, we will still have a 6th condition android who can help brute force them. And if there is a place where we can build a scriptorium, then we can just blitz that and then give up, because our game finishes immediately upon creation of the 4th chronicle entry, if I remember correctly. Like, we're doomed no matter what, right? The point of this is not to escape that doom. It is to transmit back to everybody else what's going on, to make some kind of record of ourselves before the doom. Also, look at this shit. Three turn stops on the way to like the shortest meaningful... Jeez, yeah. The energy costs are all high. The thrust costs are all high. This is just a horrifying place. Let us simply move on with the stasis we have here, which is only an option because of the thing that happened. I hit end turn instead of begin hibernation. Yeah, leave system. Let's just go. I've never actually left a system with people who have 0 faith. I assume they will be fine. Confirm hibernation. Okay, we can't actually buy anything meaningful here, and I do not want... wow, artifact value is increased by 5 is very powerful. I assume that applies to each artifact. It's not just like a one-time per region thing. Obviously, each turn gain 1 additional action is also extremely powerful. That's why it costs 80. I think we're just moving forward here. An abandoned ship has been discovered in Van Ruamat. But more importantly... yes, there is a planet that will bear the scriptorium. We have here a chaotic orbit, which is not a big deal, actually. Lose 1 to 3 faith/condition, lose all actions. That's not so bad. To be perfectly honest with you, I think my plan is just to put the android in a ship with the alloy and the stuff, and just have the android come down here and do this. We are like dancing right on the edge of a total failure here. So let's talk about the requirements for this. That is thrust 1. So we can use a small ship and make this a pretty efficient trip. It's a 33 energy move. And we want to be careful how we break it up because there is an extra hazard here. So we don't really want to stop there. But obviously, like, if we stop here, if we break this into 2 pieces where we stop here and then here, this sucks a little bit because we're going, what, 10? We're going 26 energy at a single jump. So let's see here. This would be 10, which we do in 2 fuel. Not a big deal. There's no sense in breaking it up any more than that because the limit, like, right, we could do 1 fuel and 1 fuel potentially, but, like, it doesn't actually save us any time. So we make 2 fuel to here. Then, like I said, 26 energy. 26 energy is another 7 fuel. So 1 full stack of fuel gets us to here. From there, the transit's really easy. I suppose there's really no reason not to bring a second person. They can, like, make elixir. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to throw you in the chapel and hit end turn. Then I'm going to throw you in the passenger seat of column 3. Anumda in the pilot seat. We're going to pull 2 of the fuel out. Put this stuff in. And that gets us there, right? It is a planet surface that has water on it. Water and iron. So actually we can almost certainly just... And there's iron up there too. Yeah, we can almost certainly just make fuel. Like if for some reason we were not able to finish the game here, we could almost certainly just set up fuel production and get ourselves back home. But, like, the main concern, obviously, is this. So, let's spend 2 fuel on that. Go, go, go. And... put you in the chapel. You also get to gain 1 faith. Does it make sense to even send you out? What would I do with you? We could follow along. Yeah, we could follow along in one of the larger ships. Right. For the purpose of running back. Like, if we take the methane and stuff out somewhere... Is there any place that has methane and silica together? There isn't. Obviously, a hazard that causes you to lose faith is pretty scary. Ship damage is fine, I think. How much health does a ship have? Condition 5. Okay. Is there silica available anywhere here? There's a single silica producing asteroid. Okay, there's silica available on this branch too. So if for whatever reason we did have to... There's no version of this where we would have to produce anything, though. So I think you're just sitting. I'm pretty sure the only thing that can happen is this. All right, so 26 energy. Already calculated that. Here comes the hazard. So I would love to avoid losing 1 to 3 faith or condition, but obviously I'm also committing condition to the thing. I think I'm just going to commit 1 die and accept failure. Lose all actions is meaningless because we already are out of actions. And look at that, we hit it. Hazard navigated. Okay, your turn. Part of me does want to stop and have a look. I mean, we'll have a look. We found a new another android. That's awesome. You know what? Okay, ship's full of unusual crystals again. You should fly this ship. You get to take over here. Which means that we can transition to the planet this turn. Okay, and it's a very low-stress planet. It's just like an extremely chilled-out planet. Structure, scriptorium, please. All the way down in the corner here, I suppose. Yeah, okay. So I did say that I was thinking about not having an android write the the next chapter of the Chronicle, right? However, I do think that what they have written here is appropriate. Stars, time, cash, planet, surface, dust, plague, sky, orbit, time, void. Your story is ready. The Chronicle is complete and inscribed into records chambers deep within the Auriga. It will transmit continually until death or the gloom takes it. This is the last written words of the surviving exiles. So we've written a Chronicle for the Auriga Vault. Your journey is complete. If you would like to start a new journey, you have new configurations available. Yeah, so we played this game, which I almost lost. We were at the sort of like scraping by on resources. And honestly, things got a little tight on fuel once or twice as well. And that was on the default settings of everything generous, give me lots of stuff, solar system difficulty normal. That is the sort of like the softest version of this game. You can set yourself up for an adventure of great deprivation. Also, a thing I didn't even talk about that we could have used potentially once during the adventure, but that I kind of just tend to shy away from, is you can restart a solar system if you feel like things are going badly. Just go back to the start of your arrival there. Really, if I'm going to play with none, I may as well just set it to none, right? There's probably an achievement or something. But yeah, you can take these down. You can make things much more challenging. Is that a 10 iron difference? Yeah, 18 iron, 9 water, 8 titanium. If you start on sufficient, you don't have any starting alloy, which immediately complicates things, obviously. And then meager is truly grim. 7 stacks, 4 stacks, and 2 stacks, which necessitates immediate fuel construction. If you turn down the number of ships, okay, you always get one small ship, and then it's adding stuff from there. With one small ship, it feels like you'd be in a very dangerous place. I'm kind of curious. Okay, there's no setting where you get to start with more than one large, and then yeah, you can have as many hungry mouths to feed as you want. Obviously, the value of pumping up above 3, or pumping up above like the starting 3 or 4, is a little dubious, because like while it is nice to have more people to explore, especially since the first system tends to be a little friendlier and you can probably gather more resources, there's only so much more that can be done, right? The limiter on the effectiveness of your actions is very often cargo space in the ships. And the more exiles you run, the more elixir you have to constantly be producing. So, I don't know. I don't know that turning the number of exiles up really changes things for the better all that much. But I think that is where we are going to call this series. I'm not going to run another game here because I have been tremendously behind on keeping up with new games and stuff. Apologies for that. It's just been a very rough sort of. It's been a rough month or so for my neurological conditions. So we're gonna call it here for the Banished Vault. I hope y'all enjoyed this look back into it, getting to experience some of the new stuff, the androids, the salvaged ships, finding ruins of previous expeditions and stuff. I do think it adds a little bit of interesting spice to the game, while also maybe making the game a little bit more forgiving. It was often very difficult to end up with more ships and stuff under the default conditions because you're running so tight on resource space and everything. So I really like this as a way to add a greater variety, while also maybe giving you a little bit of a push, because the game can be absolutely brutal. When you come back next time, there's going to be something else in this slot, and we'll see you then.